morning, good afternoon, good evening, or dead of night, as some of you may be, or me this morning, FP3. Welcome to the Race Statistics channel. This is Grash with you live with our coverage for GP qualifying for Singapore. We're about 4 minutes to go before green light at the end of the pit lane opens up the track for quali. There was one decision document that we have to go over. There was an issue with Hamilton. It was a red flag, failing to apply with a red flag. They looked at the document, they looked at the information. Ultimately, they decided to take no action. They would have liked to have Hamilton to have slowed down more and liked this is like weird. They decided, in this case, the stewards decided to take no action where previous weeks we have seen them take action. So who knows? We're using the C5, C4, C3 compounds this week. These are the compounds we know and love. The compounds they're going to use, again, I think they used last year as well. So I want to thank everyone who's in chat right now. We got Foxy in Twitch chat. We've got El Cook, Mayaki, Paula. Who else is here? You're joined the channel. Say something so I can call you out. Shay's here. So these are the people who have joined the channel. So they're throwing a few bucks each month over on YouTube. Yeah, one of the bonuses is that they get a super chat every month, and they also get special emojis that they have access to. So if someone could throw those in the chat and demonstrate those, that'd be helpful. Now, yeah, people are complaining about ads. So here's what's going on. YouTube has decided to just run ads whenever, and they've kind of taken that how to run ads and when to run ads. They've kind of taken that power away from us in any meaningful way. So I apologize for those on YouTube who are getting ads. Those who are on Twitch, you know this already. Right now, will Lawson join qualifying? That's a good question. Actually, that's a live timing. See if there's something about that. Mackie, are you invisible? No, you're not. So Lawson is going to take part in qualifying. So they're starting. They're about a minute away from start qualifying right now. So MD is here in Twitch chat. Thank you so much. And there's already a backup on pit lane. Again, we still haven't gone green yet. We're about to go green at any moment now. Lawson's new sergeant? No, Lawson's not the new sergeant. He's done better than sergeant. Yeah, Lawson's actually earned points and sergeant has not. So, and we have gone green, and Colapino is going to be the first one out. So there's about 5 seconds or so delay between what I'm seeing on the timing chart that you guys see and versus F1 TV. Doesn't Hamilton have a grid penalty for a red flag against it? No. Basically, I went over this earlier. Hamilton was summoned to the stewards. They reviewed data and they decided to take no further action. And there's a data document on that, a decision document on that, unfortunately. So Lewis does not get a penalty for what happened during practice. Pace in chat, member for 23 months. Cool, thank you so much. Let's go, Max. Again, a lot of Max fans in Twitch chat. CYN in Twitch saying hello to everyone. Hello back to you, my friend. Again, 18 minutes on the clock for FP, sorry, not FP1, for qualifying one session. Got right now Colpino, Gasly, Hulkenberg in the first three. Stroll, Albon, Sainz third. Lewis, Charles, Isaac next three. Borello, and it would look like Lawson would be next out. Dark, a member for 11 months. Thank you so much. Go Williams. Yeah, yesterday the Ferrari basically got a $10,000, a 10,000 euro fine for the incident where Leclerc crashed into. Who did he crash into? Into the McLaren. Charles got a penalty, but it was only a fine and not a grid place penalty. Right now, again, Colpino, Stroll, Gasly, Hulkenberg are on their out laps. I mean, I'm sorry, on their flying laps right now. Everyone is on their out laps still or still in the pits. Waiting for how bad Ferrari will be and how Max will smoke the field again. Yeah, I mean, Max is in form right now. Like this is when he was on his run where he did like what 7, 8 in a row. I think he got won 8 in a row last. I think in 2003 and 2004. It looks like Max is in form. I mean, he went out and got the Northsider ring license and then won in the GT in the GT top class last weekend. And he won, and he left his teammate a minute and 5 seconds lead when he finished his 2 hour stint. So first times on the boards. Gasly did 137. He abandoned his lap. Stroll right now top of the board 131.5, 112. Hulkenberg 131.689. We're gonna, yeah, these 131s. We saw 130s earlier. 131.474. So these are times. Yellow flag. It's in sector 1 and sector 3. It looks like it's resolved. It looks like someone went off and came back on. So people are asking about what the points say about Max. What the situation is, if Max wins basically every single race from here on out, which he is capable of doing, he's capable of doing. I mean, this is the one race that got away from Red Bull in 23. First 130s on the board. Isaac is a 130.826, top of the board right now. Leclerc is 114 behind him. Sainz 189 behind. Borrell 22. Lawson 55.99. So big jump from Borrell to Lawson right now. Again, big name still on the board. Max right now on his flying lap. Norris on a flying lap. Oscar was on a flying lap. Looks like he's abandoned his lap. Tsunoda on a flying lap. And then the only one who's still left in the pits is still Alonso right now. Not yet to put a time, still in the pits and yet to put a time on the board. Norris to the top of the board, 130.572. He's 254 faster than Isaac. Legs, join the family. Thank you, my friend. Oh yeah, McLaren's not lying down, but it is McLaren is also the one hyping up Max as a dangerous threat to the drivers' championship. As it stands right now, it is basically this is where McLaren's going to wrap up the constructors. I actually don't know what the exact point figure is, but as long as we don't have like a double DMF, we are going to basically see McLaren wrap up that constructors championship this weekend. Shay, basically with a 5.99 euro donation super chat. Giddy up, go Max and Red Bull. Again, Shay, one of our legends in chat, one of our big Maxiteers. Max right now to the top of the board, 130.314. Hamilton is second after him, 245. Norris is a tenth, no, a hundredth slower than Hamilton, so he's 245 to 255. Isaac is now over a half a second, 509. Isaac highly performing well. So Oscar abandoned the lap because he was told about the yellow flag. Is it true that Ferrari signed Oscar? No, they have not. And Sly is giving give 5 gift memberships. So Matt, Steve, Martin Lewis, Victor Juan, Milico, Nina, Psycho, and Nick, you've all gotten a gift membership from Sly. Thank you from Sly. Bierman 2, P2, 103 behind Max, a 130.420. So right now we got Max, Bierman, Hamilton, Lando, Isaac, Charles, Science, Barlow, Ocon, Lawson in the top 10. We still have Oscar with no time, Russell, Antonelli, and Alonso. Last three are they're all on last three are all on track. Russell just went P3, 130.509 to 192 behind Max. We've got 9:15 left to go in this session, so we're halfway through this session approximately. What's the icon between Renault and the likes? I think there's something there that's not being shown, but it's not something that we, important in terms of, might be an interface piece. Albon's lap time was deleted. Right now, he is not officially set. I don't think he's. No, his last. So his best lap right now is a 131.474. Oh, those are the FI document button. Okay. Yeah, definitely crop that. People will ask about it. Alonso just jumped up to P6, 130.74. He's 0.455, almost a half a second behind Max's best time. Again, right now we've got Max, Bierman, Russell, Hamilton, Norris in the top 5. Norris is a quarter of a second behind Max. Hamilton jumping up to P2. He's only 2,000 behind Max. So 130.319. Albon jumping up to 7th now, putting in a proper lap of 130.77. He's 0.458 behind Max. Clerk jumping to P3. He's 53 thousandths behind Max. Half of a tenth of a second between Max and Charles. Sainz jumping up to 3. Well, it was 3. Isaac to top of the board, 130.214. Sainz to P8. So Max is now P2. He's 103 behind Isaac. Mikey giving 5 more memberships. So Adam, Thumbs, Thub, Dilate C, and Idero, you've all gotten memberships from Mikey. Thank you so much, Mikey, for the memberships. You guys are legends today with memberships. Yeah, very green chat now. So again, 6 minutes and 20 seconds left to go in this session. You're going to listening to the Race Statistics channel. We are on YouTube, Twitch, and elsewhere, and on demand after the fact. I think that was Oster jumping up to P6. He's 226 behind Isaac's time. As we stand right now, Ocon's last, let me see, his lap for 3 minutes ago was deleted. He's right now P16 in the drop zone in the pits, so is Gasly and Tsunoda. So 16, 17, and 19 respectively. Lawson is on track right now in Sector 3. He's improved in Sector 1, Sector 2. He's got good times looking. And he comes across P10. So right now, Bortolo is the driver at risk. Stroll is not that far behind at 14th. So is Colpino at 13th. In the drop zone is Hulkenberg, Ocon, Gasly, Tsunoda, and Antonelli. Antonelli right now on an outlap on track. I think Norris just went to the top of the board. Fastest first and second sector. Good third sector. Isaac still has the top third sector. Comes Antonelli now coming around. He's now probably doing what will be his only flying lap, most likely. Are they all that close? Yes, they're all that close. They are literally all that close. And we've got, the Racing Bulls in the mix. We've got, Behrman in the mix, Hasser in the mix. Again, these are the last 6-7 races of this formulation, and we are going to get all new cars next, brand new cars of new regulations next year. So. Right now, Solomon Ackerman in chat and Twitch chat. Thank you so much. Antonelli right now setting fastest first and second sector. So he's on track for potentially a purple flying lap. Be his first lap. These are fresh softs. Did the out lap, so these are brand spanking tires. See how he comes. And he comes in just behind Norris, 104 behind Norris. He loses, basically, it's the difference between him is in the third sector. Antonelli comes in at 130.036. Norris notably is top of the board with 129.932. Two minutes and 45 seconds left to go. People are now coming back out on the track to get around and to do their last hurrah to qualify. So right now, Stroll is driver at the risk. Colapino is 14th. He's not that. He's 19 thousandths difference between Colpino and Stroll. That's 14 to 18th, so that's the big difference, right? Not much of a difference. Bortolo is 16th, Hulkenberg is 17th, Ocon 18th, Gasly 19th, it's Noda 20th. So those five are in the drop zone. Yuki's not put together a great lap. It's 1.8 back. So again, from P1 to P20 is under 2 seconds. That's huge competition. Yuki currently on an outlap. Isaac on an outlap. Clerk on his outlap, about to start a flying lap. Either that, he's starting his flying lap. So Sainz, Lawson, Albon coming out. All the drivers in the drop zone are on outlaps right now. So, and he's going to hit. So he's P2 moving on to Q2. Hamilton top of the board, 129.765 lap time. That's 167 thousandths faster than Norris. Fastest third sector for Hamilton. Stroll moves up to P14. That is going to put him in danger right now. Max moving up to P3, 263 behind Hamilton. Isaac right now. That was his outlap. Oscar moves up to P6. That's a 5:48. Hulkenberg starting his flying lap. So Oscar's baked in. Max is baked in. Yellow flag. Why? Where? And that Gasly has stopped at the moment, and it's a question of, has he stopped on track? He has not moved. Time has elapsed. They're still letting cars go by. Is he in he lost the steering. The steering is heavy, Ocon. But where's his car? So Tsunoda's going to move to P10. So they're letting them race. They're letting them go. So Gasly's going to be out because he's stopped. Colpino is out. Coming in right now is Norris and Hamilton. They're both pitting. Stroll's right now. He's going to pit. Isaac is going to pit. Here comes Hulkenberg. Hulkenberg goes P13. He knocks out Albon. Barello goes to 16. He gets knocked out. So right now we have Ocon still on track. Still, he's got a chance. He could knock out. No, he does not. He could knock out Albon, and he doesn't. He goes 19th. So Bortolo, Stroll, Colpino, Ocon, and Gasly are going to be the five drivers knocked out in Q1. Looking at right now, anyone else? Showing what Gasly did. And he just doesn't make the turn. And he stops. Yeah, he ends up. Does he hit the wall? Oh, that's Stroll. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened with Gasly. He comes to that turn 11, and he doesn't make the turn. And he was so pulled over to the side that they just let everyone race. I don't think, they're showing, I think this is Hulkenberg, and he went by with green lights. Yeah, the difference between P1 and P15 was 1 minute. I mean, sorry, 1 second and 10 thousandths. So 1.01. Alonso P14. 0.980. Someone, again, surviving by the skin of his teeth. So Q1, basically, top of the board was Hamilton, Russell second, Norris third. We did get into 129s with the top three. I didn't think we'd get into the 129s in Q1, but here we go. Max is coming in P4.263. Again, he's in the top four. Antonelli's P5, Isaac P6, Oscar P7, Leclerc P8, Bamman P9, and Tsunoda P10. About 6 tenths difference between, no, about 5 tenths difference between Max and Tsunoda. So right now, I'm not sure what they're doing with Gasly's car, but we're waiting for that sector to the track to clear up. And then we will get on to Q2. Again, you're listening to the Race Tickets channel. This is Grash with as your commentator today for our qualifying session for the Singapore Grand Prix. So Q2 will be delayed. So we got more time to talk. One of the stories coming in this weekend is coming out of F2. Alex Dune has been released from his contract from McLaren. It's basically he was on a developmental contract, and that would have kept basically that contract would have kept him in the McLaren family. Problem is, there's no seat for him. Norris is not going away. Oscar's not going away. They're locked down for several years, so there's no seat opportunity for him with McLaren. So now basically McLaren has just cut bait and released him, and that now allows him to go basically talk with other teams officially now. Again, Alex right now is in F2. Right now, Alex is P5 in the standings. He's 130, 50 points behind Forinoli, who is P1. Jack Crawford is second with 169. Browning is P3, 161, and Restores is 151. Else. So that our F2 in play right now. Again, we're right now waiting. We have a delay for Q2. There's an issue ultimately with something. Again, Gasly stopped on track, so it's just I don't know if he touched anything, or they're taking a longer time than usual to get the car off track. Samurai saying Christian Horner to Haas. That's not the story. No, that it's not Christian Horner is going to Haas. That is not the case. What the story is that Christian Horner has gone to every single damn team and asked, "Is there a role for him?" How many more points does Dune need for? I think he has the super license. I don't think the super license is an issue with Dune. To be quite honest, it's the issue is more. He was signed last year to the McLaren junior development team, but there's no point of there's no point for McLaren to continue to develop him because there's no seat for him to go to. Another example of something like this is that Aston Martin has had Drogovic. And, he was the F2 champion, and then has been sitting in the back seat behind Stroll and Alonso for the past like 3 years, and he is now moved. He's now moving on to Formula E, so he can get back to driving again. Beekeeper, are we streaming the Grand Prix tomorrow? Yes, we are. Right now, Ollie is basically slated to take on the race tomorrow. Questions in chat. Did Gasly crash or is it a technical fault? I think he locked up. I don't know if he actually crashed. And I'm not sure what's going on, why we're still waiting for the start of Q2. Again, we still have a yellow flag scenario on track. Hubert, has the clerk been punished for yesterday's incident? Yes. He did. It was infringement, but it was only a fine but to the team and not a grid place drop on the driver. Now, the thing about why are we still okay? So it will be about 3 minutes when Q2 will start now. So one of the things that's going on is what is going on with Red Bull. I'll tell you right now, I suspect that Yuki Tsunoda will not be with Red Bull after the end of this year. And part of that is that Yuki Tsunoda is very much a Honda driver, and ultimately, with Honda now going to Aston Martin as making Aston Martin their works team, effectively, that leaves Yuki looking on the outside at Red Bull. Now, with Drogovic now leaving the Aston Martin team to go to Formula E, that opens up a potential for Yuki to go to Aston Martin as their reserve driver, effectively. So again, we are about 2 minutes away from Q2 starting. So a couple incidents involving multiple cars. Again, we have 1 minute and 35 seconds left to go before Q2 starts. So Barrel, Hulkenberg, Sonoda, Russell, yellow flag infringements. We'll see if they do anything about that. That will be taken care of, I think, after qualifying, it looks like. And Dune is saying that Dune didn't have points as Summer's mine. That sounds more like Colton Herta. That's the story for Colton Herta, is that he doesn't have enough points for the super license and some are expiring. So ultimately he's going to be I don't think it's been officially said which team and what car he's going to drive in F2, but basically he's going to be going to F2 to basically get his super license. And we are about to go green for Q2. And I think Max is out front on the pit line. Thank you to J6ME and chat. No, we're still about to go live. Yeah, Max is first to go. He's on the pit lane line, waiting for that green light. He pushed it back a minute. There you go, green light. Max is now out on track. He's followed by one of the Haas's. That'd be Bierman. Isaac will be third. And then Sainz will be fourth. Carlos and Albon coming out. So our first 5 drivers onto track as Q2 starts. 15 minutes were set on the board for Q2. We're almost through that first minute right now. Again, you're listening to the Race Statistics channel. This is Crash with you live with our coverage of qualifying now in Q2. We were delayed for Q2. Ultimately, Gasly basically pulled off to the side of the track, and it looks like took us more time than expected to get his car off track and to make sure those barriers were okay. Right now, Max right now entering sector 3, Bierman in the straight before sector 3. No, Oscar and Lando just haven't set time yet. They're still the ones that eliminated are Borletto, Stroll, Colpino, Ocon, and Gasly. Just right now, no one has set times yet for Q2. So Max has now crossed the start finish line. He is now on his flying lap. He is in the back straight, turn 5, turn 6 to turn 7 in sector 1 into sector 2. Now's a great time to like and subscribe as we wait for drivers to put times on the board. Right now, Max is the first one to go out on a flying lap. And everyone is now out on track at this point. Oscar is the last one to leave the pits. Max right now is on the straight into sector 3. Past turn 14. Bierman will be the next driver to set a time after him. Hamilton is behind Max, but he is still on his outlap. Max just 18-19 to the line. He does a 129.747. That's a good time to start off with. Here comes Bierman. He's going to be at P2, and that is going to be 0.57, half a second behind Max. 130.278 or 0.531 is the gap. Isaac goes 375 behind Max. Albon coming to the line, goes P4, 729 behind Max. Russell is next to the line, but he is on an outlap. Next would be Sainz. This is a flying lap for him, and that's going to go P3, 488, being his teammate. Side legs with a £2 donation. Go Maximilian. Thank you so much, my friend. And also thank you for the YouTube memberships you gave earlier. Alonso to P3, 381 behind Max. So to P6, he's 6/10 behind Max. Watson to P6, 573 behind Max, ahead of Tsunoda, down to 7 now. Russell's his track limits for Russell. Right, what you guys talking about? Looking at Max is about to come pit. Here comes Hamilton, set a time, but he abandoned his lap. So Hamilton does a 1:58, 28 seconds behind. Russell goes P4, 445 thousandths behind. Here comes Antonelli. He goes P2, 77 thousandths behind Max. Leclerc is next to set a time. He abandoned his time. And Norris is going to jump to P3, 261 behind. So that leaves Hulkenberg on a flying lap and Oscar on a flying lap right now. Hulkenberg comes to the line. He goes P8. Antonelli's track time was deleted. Here comes Oscar right now. He's the last one. And he goes P2, 76 thousandths behind Max. So right now, Max top of the board, 129.747. Oscar is second, 76 thousandths behind. Norris is P3, 261 behind. We can jump down. I'm going to say Behrman and Lawson are driver at risk, P9, P8. They are 0.531 and 0.573 behind Max, and respectively. Tsunoda is in the drop zone at 606. Albon is 279, and then Leclerc, Hamilton have effectively not set a representative time. Hamilton now jumped into P3, so he's just now set as representative time. That puts Lawson, again, Behrman is now at driver at risk, Lawson is in the drop zone. Antonelli is the last one in the drop zone right now. He has not set a time. Clerk coming, he is on a flying lap. He only goes 13th, 0.725. So, with 7 minutes and 34 seconds left to go in this session, right now, Behrman is the driver at risk. Lawson, Tsunoda, Leclerc, Albon, Antonelli are the drivers at risk right now. Hulkenberg in there right now, P9, 489 behind. Sainz, 488 behind. Russell, 445 behind. Alonso, 381 behind. Isaac, 375 behind. Norris, 261 behind. Hamilton, 189 behind. Oscar, 76 behind. And then Max, top of the board, 129.747 is his lap time. Again, P1 to P14 is only 729. Like just more than 7/10 is the difference between P1 and P. And it's literally 5.31. I mean, the difference between being in and being out is not a tenth, but fourth hundredths of a second between P10 and P11 at the moment. Is Antonelli in top Q2? No, Antonelli has not set a time yet. So we've got 6 minutes out. I expect him to come out soon and early to set a time. Got 6 minutes to go in this Q2 session here in Singapore. Again, you're listening to the Race 6 channel, and this is Grash with you right now, covering the action as it is. Again, Antonelli, as I predicted, has come out already and is on track. Dirk right now is in trouble. Again, he is in the drop zone at P13. Russell was sent out shortly after Antonelli, and Tsunoda and Max are going to be third and fourth on the grid. And I think Albon, Sainz, Isaac are going to be the next three. See, I think Max is out. I'm not sure why Max is out. They put him out on new soft tires too. I'm not sure why they've done that. Is it just to put a line in the sand and to be that mental? Is it a mental game that they're playing with Max? I don't know. Behrman's after Isaac. It's going to be Ollie Behrman and Liam Lawson. Lawson right now, driver in the drop zone. Only point, he did a 130.320. Not much. I mean, it is literally 42 thousandths between Behrman and Lawson. Behrman in, Lawson out currently. Now he has crossed the line a few seconds ago. He is in sector 2 on his flying lap. Russell was the next out. He's on a flying lap now. And Denelli's now on the back straight. He's coming to turn 16, 17. Again, most of the drivers right now are going to be coming around, starting flying lap. Antonelli's going to come across. Goes to the top of the board, 129.649. 98 thousandths faster than Max Verstappen. Russell will be the next one to come across the line where Lawson's about to cross the line, but that it's a outlap for him. Russell goes P1 to the top board, 129.562. Fastest first sector for Russell, fastest second sector for Antonelli. Hamilton has the fastest third sector right now. Max goes P2 on the board. 10 thousandths behind Russell. Alonso right now crossing the line, starting flying lap. You got 135 left to go in this session. Basically, these lap times are now as people come across the line. With the exception of Oscar, Hamilton, Hulkenberg, and Leclerc, they'll be starting laps. But Hulkenberg right now goes starting a flying lap. Here comes Sainz. Looks like he did a 130.363 in his last lap. That may be, he is currently the driver at risk. As of right now, does P7, improves in his time but not his position. Bierman coming across the line, goes to P8. So Sainz is pushed down. Sainz is going to be out. Just check. Sainz is coming to end. Comes Norris. Norris goes P4. Yeah, Sainz is out. Sainz is out. Right now, Hulkenberg is at the bottom. Let's see. Russell is coming. Alonso is coming. Alonso is on a flying lap. Russell is going to pit. Then Tsunoda is on. Tsunoda has 10 seconds to cross the line if he's going to. Nope. Tsunoda's pitting. Tsunoda's done. He probably could have gone around one more time and done another lap. Hulkenberg coming to the line. Goes P10. So the Williams are going to be knocked out, P11, P12. Lawson's going to be knocked out. Tsunoda's going to be locked out. The only person that we have to figure out is Leclerc. He goes to P6, and that pushes Hulkenberg into the drop zone. So it's going to be Hulkenberg, Albon, Sainz, Lawson, Tsunoda being knocked out in Q2. Give us time. We'll see if anything. Yeah, that is it. So we're going to have Russell, Max, Antonelli, Lando, Oscar, Charles, Lewis, Isaac, Alonso, Behrman are going to be in Q3. Difference between Behrman P10 and Hulkenberg P11 was 65 thousandths. A difference between Behrman and Hulkenberg. Behrman did a 130.076, and Hulkenberg did a 130.141. Albon did a 130.202 and Sainz a 132.35. So I mean, we're talking within less than a tenth to Hulkenberg, within a tenth for 2/10 within Albon and Sainz being out. So yeah, Tsunoda basically is going to start. I mean, the difference between Tsunoda and Max is basically 781, almost 8/10, and that's just not enough to. Guys, I think saying that Yuki is under investigation. I'm not sure what he was in investigation for. Yellow flag has been thrown on the track. I'm not sure why. They maybe just want to investigate, take a look at that turn 14. There could be some debris on track that they would want to get off for Q3. Again, we have just finished Q2. Again, Hulkenberg, Albon, Sainz, Lawson, Tsunoda were out in Q2. Borrell, Stroll, Colapino, Ocon, Gasly went out in Q1. That leaves Russell, Max, Antonelli, Norris, Oscar, Leclerc, Hamilton, Isaac, Alonso, Behrman to fight it out for pole in Q3. Again, you're listening to the Race Statistics channel. This is Crash with our coverage of qualification. Can you predict race results better than our boss, Race Statistics? Well, you can try now. He's posted, Investors has posted a link into chat where you can put in your prediction. After the race ends, we'll see whose predictions are better. Our boss or us, the chatters. I will say that I have already put my prediction in, and yes, I have said there will be at least one red flag in the race. Because why not? It's me. Shay, was it noted, or was they actually going to invest? They say they're going to investigate. It's one of those interesting scenarios. I know there's a lot of. They've been throwing a lot of the maximum time delta scenario, and then when they get to the end of qualifying, they're like, "We're not going to investigate it any further." Yeah, guys, Will Buxton's not dead. He's just over and working for IndyCar now. And oh, there's lining up early. With more than 2 minutes left to go, Behrman and Alonso are on out of the garage. So that's going to be interesting. So if I tell you when it's Q1 was 53 minutes ago, my friend. You've missed Q1 and Q2. We're now into Q3. We got a minute and 30 seconds left to go before Q3 starts. Lando can't beat Max or Oscar unless McLaren helps him out. Well, I mean, he needs not to have bad pit stops, ultimately. Again, right now we've got Oscar P1, Lando P2, and Max P3 in the Drivers' Championship. I mean, what was listed as people saying impossible is very much possible for Max if he goes and wins the rest of these races. Again, qualifying here is going to be huge. Where McLaren starts is going to be huge. So if Mercedes gets ahead of the McLarens, or Ferrari gets ahead of McLaren, it's going to help Max if he gets P1, P2. So this is going to be 12 minutes on the board. We've just started Q3. Behrman's going to be the first one out, and I think Alonso is no. Russell will be the next one out. Yeah, Max winning with Merckx in the middle is exactly what Max. Yes, because those are points that's being taken away from McLaren, and that helps. Basically, Max has to score 10 or more points each of each race going forward right now to overtake McLaren, and it's not impossible for Max to do that. That's the crazy part. It is possible for Max to still win the drivers' championship. So we got Bierman, Russell, Antonelli, Alonso, Isaac are the first 5 out. Norris will be number 6 coming out. Arya, just be careful. You're using periods, and the bot sees a period and thinks if it's text on the other side, it's a web link. It's just how it's been programmed. Bierman right now finishing his out lap and starting what would be the first flying lap of Q3. Oh, where's the first sector time? They pretty much all have come out of the pits, so there's no sector time right now. Give it a few seconds. Bierman will set the first sector time in Q3. And here it comes. He finishes Q3, sector 1, with a 26.773. And that is 2/10 slower than Russell's fastest time from Q2. So, see how it goes. Russell does a 26.415 in sector 1, fastest first sector. And Alien is about a 10th and a half behind his teammate. Norris starting his flying lap right now. So what's left is Verstappen, Oscar, Leclerc, Hamilton still on out laps. Leclerc will start his flying lap in a few seconds, and Bierman's about to finish his flying lap. Here comes Bierman to the line, and he's going to do a 130.166. We were seeing 129s, so that's that time will tumble pretty quickly. Hamilton crossing the line, start flying lap. Russell coming to the line, 129.165, whole second faster than Bierman. Oscar right now coming to the line to start a flying lap. Antonelli is about to finish a flying lap, and Max behind to start a flying lap. Antonelli goes P2, 372 behind his teammate. Max starting a flying lap. Alonso will be the next one to cross the line on a flying lap. Alonso now coming to 1819. He goes P4, 1.1 behind Bierman. Behind Russell, almost 1.2 seconds. Isaac goes P3, 681 behind Russell. Comes Norris, first of the papayas. He goes P3. Oh boy, this is getting spicy. First of the Ferraris, so it's going to be Leclerc, and then in a few more seconds it'll be Hamilton. Leclerc comes to 1819. He goes P4. Hamilton right now coming to 1819. Hamilton goes P4. So Norris right now ahead of the Ferraris, but behind Mercedes. Bierman is pitting. Oscar is coming to the line right now, 1819 to the line. He goes P2, splits Russell and Antonelli. 359 difference. Russell's pitting. Max now the last one to set a time, fastest for the second sector. he comes and goes P2. He's 175 behind Russell. He's ahead of Oscar by almost 2 tenths and almost 3 tenths faster than Norris. So we've got our first banker laps in. Russell top of the board right now in provisional pole, 129.165. Max back 175. He did have faster second and third sector. And times are a little screwy at the moment. Anyways, Oscar is 359 behind. Antonelli P4, 372 behind. Norris, 442 behind. Hamilton Leclerc, 6th and 7th. Isaac, 8th. Barron, 9th. Alonso, 10th. And that's where we sit with 5 minutes and 40 seconds left to go. Again, 12 minutes were put on the clock. We're already halfway through it. Again, we're all in the pits, except for Leclerc, Hamilton, Oscar, and Max, who were the last four to set times. So we're right now going, they're about to pit, they come in, and in about a minute and a half, we're going to see them all come back out to set one more lap for attempt at pole. So I'm pointing out that Russell had contact with the wall and was still very quick. Hamilton crash out? No, Hamilton did not crash out. Again, if you think you can predict the race results and race statistics, you can sure try. We have a link there in chat, and it's been pinned in both YouTube and Twitch chat. If you follow that link, you can then give us your prediction, and if you see if you can do better than us. This will be open until beginning of race tomorrow, so you got time to get it in, but not very much. Third Eye saying, I'm hoping to see Max versus Oscar in a classic F1 duel. Why is everyone in the pit lanes? They're basically getting tires ready. Any last minute modifications on the car for that last run. Again, there are flaps that can be adjusted. Damon is the first one to go out. Norris will be second. Isaac third. Clerk fourth, and Russell fifth. Three minutes and 25 seconds left to go in this session right now. Pretty much drivers will have enough time to go around and then do a lap, and that will be it. We've got time for them to spread out as they leave the pits. Max Tears in chat, cheering for Max. We got Max and George. We got Lando. We've got Oscar being cheered for. Right now, Russell is on provisional pole, 129.165. But again, we are now seeing them all come out, and we will be having them do their last hurrah. And it took about 1:30 for Behrman to get around. He is now starting a flying lap. He will be the first one to do a flying lap. Isaac being cheered for. Max being cheered for. Again, please don't spam chat. I mean, I know you are cheering for the same person, but don't say something different each time, please. Right now, Behrman is in sector 2. He does a 126.7. 3/10 off of what Russell has done, the fastest Russell has done. Bierman right now turning 13 to 14. Nelly crossing the line. Who's left? So it'd be Max, Oscar, and Alonso to cross the line. They have plenty of time to do so. Alonso now crossing the line to start his flying lap. Hamilton also on a flying on an out lap still. So Norris on a flying lap. Hamilton starting his flying lap. Norris goes 129.586, does not improve his position. Same with Bierman. So Bierman locked in at P9, Norris locked in at P5. Oscar starting a flying lap now. The only one left to start a flying lap is Max. Norris and Bierman are locked in with their times, their final laps. Next across the line is Leclerc, and Isaac abandoned his lap. 1-6. Was there? Did something happen? Clerk did not improve in this time. P7. Russell improves in his time. Improves in his P1 time, 129.158. Antonelli does not improve in his time. Here comes Alonso. Alonso does not improves in his time, but not his position. Here comes Hamilton right now. Hamilton did not greatly improve in Sector 1, but it's a good Sector 1 time. Hamilton stays in P6. Oscar right now. Oscar has not improved in his time. Tony the line. Yeah, it's just Max right now. Max right now improved Sector 1. Did not improve Sector 2, but he's good time there. He's coming to the line. He goes P2. So, rather, no one changed in any of their positions. So this is a rather understated last lap shootout with all the drivers. Max did not improve his time. In fact, he abandoned his lap. He did a 132.988. So Russell actually does improve P1 and extends his lead for P1. He will be P1. Max will be P2. Oscar will be P3. Antonelli P4. That's huge. That splits Oscar and Norris. Norris will start P5. Ferrari P6, P7. This has just been the yeah, that is what Ferrari's doing. Third best right now. Fourth if you count Max Verstappen. Isaac will start 8th, Bierman 9th, Alonso 10th. And that will be Q3. Again, Hulkenberg, Albon, Sainz, Lawson, Tsunoda were knocked out in Q2. And then Borrello, Stroll, Colpino, Ocon, Gasly were knocked out in Q1. And that is your qualifications. I don't know. Just check decision documents. Maybe nothing. Yeah, there's no decision documents yet. So if there's anything that has been, again, they have yet to issue decision documents for anything for qualifications. I doubt that there were several cars that were given, like, we're going to investigate you, and I suspect it would be for max delta time. Most of the time, it's basically the stewards have been waiving those max delta time investigations after this, after basically when it comes to actually do the work for that, they've been leaving those off and not taking any action. So will rain happen? There's a 40% chance for rain tomorrow. 3Z saying Kimmy, he is good. He is good today. Yeah, Kimmy P4, that is good right now. That's a good position. It will be interesting to see with Max Verstappen. Will he jump Russell to take the lead? We've got definitely a lot of storylines going in tomorrow. Again, this has been Grash. This has been our coverage of qualification for the Singapore Grand Prix. Again, Russell is pole. Max is on that first row. Oscar is third, and Antonelli's fourth. Lando comes in fifth, and he's next to Hamilton. Clerk ends up seven next to Isaac. And then Baron and Alonso fill out that fifth row. Rain chance tomorrow, that would be spicy, definitely. For me, my red flag counter is going to go back down to 0 because there were no red flags in this session. Will be me in quali. Moving forward, though, tomorrow, right now, we are slated to have Ollie to be back on for the race tomorrow. So for you guys, next time you see me, so next time. Yeah, so next time will be in the afternoon. Will be the United States Grand Prix in Austin, Texas. I'm about 3 to 4 hours north of Austin, so I'll be my track time is local time for me. So for everyone here at Race Statistics, if I don't see you tomorrow for the race, you'll see me on October 17th for the U.S. Grand Prix. Again, for everyone here at the Race Statistics family, have a good afternoon, have fun, and we will see you tomorrow for qualifications. Take care, everyone.
Thank you, Grash. And yeah, just a quick word from me. Now Racing Statistics is speaking because we said that we're going to do those predictions. I just want to let you know what are my predictions. And yeah, I'm going to go a bit bold. So let's see who is going to do it better. So you can see the link in the chat. It's pinned in the chat. So you can go to the predictions there, and I'll also write it here so it comes up in chat again. So the first question is, who will win the race? I really think Max Verstappen will win this race, so I'm gonna go with him. Which team will win most points? I mean, I would say it's between Mercedes and McLaren, and I'm gonna say Mercedes here, just so it's a bit bold. Maybe it's gonna be McLaren, probably more likely, but I think that with the chances of rain and chaos tomorrow, I think Mercedes might come up on top with winning most points in the race. How many red flags will be in the race? I would say 1. And how many DNFs? I will go with 2. Who will be the driver of the day? Yeah, for this one, again, I'm gonna go with, this will be decided with the official driver of the day poll. So we will compare it against that. And I think it's gonna be Hajar. So I'm gonna select Hajar. Those are my predictions. So tomorrow after the race, I will prepare the stats of your predictions, because I see there have been a lot of people already sending predictions on the link. So I will compile them and see, like, from the whole chat, the biggest percentage of race win and all the other questions. And then we will compare that with mine and with the race results, and we will see who predicted better for this weekend. And yeah, if this turns out to be interesting, we can start keeping score, who is better predictor, does the channel win or the chat, and we can keep it for other races too. So thank you everyone for watching. Right now, after the stream ends, you will be taken to the race stream. If you can hit the like button on that stream, that's really, really helpful. So right after the stream ends, you're gonna be taken to the race stream, and just hitting the like button before you go is gonna help us kickstart